Today I want to talk about what should be the next game in the Battlefield franchise. Should it be Battlefield 4 as we've heard announced, or should it have been Bad Company 3? Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and as I mentioned, today I want to talk about the semi-controversy of what should be the next iteration of the Battlefield franchise. Should it be, as we've heard announced, Battlefield 4, or should it be, as a lot of other people seem to think, and a lot of us thought previously, it was going to be Bad Company 3. But first, let me introduce the video. This is a Rush attack on Sharky. No, Gulf of Oman. I apologize. This is actually from a little while back now. I've pretty much been all Aftermath all the time, both public posting and playing, but I want to bring something a little bit different. This is a really nice match I had actually on my hard drive for a while, so I've been dying to use it. Had some really nice clips. I was playing really well. My shot was doing well. My reaction was doing well. My situational awareness was real nice. I was real happy playing this session. Got a couple gameplays from it, but particularly this game, this match in itself, I was real happy about. I think most of my deaths, I think I had like 9 of them. I think every single one except for like 2 came against 008 guys, as I was playing with 008 guys on my squad and my team, and I was up against a squad of 008 guys like we normally do. We like to balance things out to give us a challenge, but we were kind of undermanned the whole match as the attackers, which can be pretty tough, but we still managed to do some work, get the job done, and have a good round. So enjoy that as background, but I'm not really going to talk about the gameplay today, because what I want to talk about is, as I watch videos around YouTube and things, I see a lot of people talking about it. I mean, this video topic was certainly popular a couple of months ago, before Medal of Honor Warfighter was released, and we found out that Battlefield 4 was officially being announced as part of the pre-order bonus there. A lot of people were speculating, and a lot of people thought, as did I, that it was more likely we were going to see Bad Company 3 as the next Battlefield franchise game in fall 2013, maybe in the new year 2014, something like that. But we got a little bit of a surprise, and it was announced that it's Battlefield 4. It was surprising at the time, but as I think about it, and I'll talk about it a little bit, it's not that surprising when you think about it. And I'll probably do a video tomorrow about what I want to see out of Battlefield 4, what my hopes are, and hopefully I'll get into that topic a little deeper for you guys. But as I see other videos, and they've popped up lately, probably it's gotten a little trendy again, maybe just because people don't have anything else to talk about, so they're looking forward a little bit. A lot of people seem to be a little upset, a little concerned, and feeling a little annoyed, I guess is the word, that we're not getting Bad Company 3, because people felt like that game hasn't been represented enough and we should see another iteration of it. Now, let me first say, I enjoyed Bad Company 3. I enjoyed the game fully, the entire game. The multiplayer was great. It's what got me back into the Battlefield franchise. I also enjoyed the single player. It's the last campaign I've played to end, from beginning to end, in a long time, especially at least in first-person shooters. I've tried to play some of the Call of Duty ones that people say are great. I tried to play the Medal of Honor one. I tried to play the Battlefield one. They just can't finish them. I get bored and I move on. Something about Bad Company 2 kind of caught me, and I finished it. And that was the characters, that was the storyline. Everybody knows it was a little more comedic, it was a little more arcadey, it was a little more hokey. There was more humor involved, and I enjoyed that a lot. The storyline was pretty cool. I would enjoy Bad Company 3, do not get me wrong, especially to see where that story goes. If you remember, they left it off as they were attacking American soil. So that would be pretty cool to see where they go with that. But I don't want a game made just for the campaign, obviously. But my point is this, is that, the whole reason that Bad Company was made, and I think this is a point that people are missing when they're saying, I want Bad Company 3, not Battlefield 4. What I think they're missing is that it's almost the same game at this point, guys. When Bad Company series was made, it was spun off of Battlefield 2. Like, that was the last Battlefield we had, and it was the reason it was spun off, I believe, is because it wanted to focus more on the infantry focused combat, less on vehicles, less on these huge epic maps. Relatively, obviously they were still big maps, but compared to Battlefield 2, they weren't nearly as big. There weren't as much vehicles. There was more of a focus on infantry style gameplay than there was in Battlefield 2. So there was a niche, there was a need for a game like that. And they saw it, there was a big gap there, so they said, let's try this other quirky little series. It's more fun, more lighthearted, more arcadey, more infantry, that kind of thing. Does it sound familiar to another series of game, guys? I mean, there's been a lot of hoo-ha about, them codicizing a Battlefield 3, or making it more COD-like. I think the Bad Company series was the first foray into that. Now, I don't think it was intentionally planned so much as I think a lot of Bad Company's success, especially Bad Company 2, was pretty much accidental. I don't think they expected it to do as well as it did, but it did, and I'm grateful for that because it's launched a lot of good times for me. But at the time, there was a need for more infantry focused, a little bit smaller as far as in the relative to the Battlefield franchise, maps and engagements and those types of things. We didn't need the epic, grand, sprawling maps. And I know a lot of you guys might get it up in arms and mad at me, but the market speaks and the money speaks, and that's not the way the market's trending. It might be what you want, but it's just not gonna happen, guys. It didn't. They saw the writing on the wall then. It's gotten even more, obvious now. You're not going to get that in Battlefield 4, so don't get your hopes up. If you get a trend towards Battlefield 2, I would be shocked. And I think most of the gaming world would be too, because I think at this point, we used to have these two paths where you had Battlefield 2 Battlefield 2 BF2, and then you had Bad Company that spun off of that more towards COD, more towards infantry. And what happened is there was these two forks going down. And when they went from Battlefield 2 to Battlefield 3, they shifted the Battlefield line closer to COD. Obviously, we've all witnessed that. And in doing so, what they've done is the two paths between Bad Company storyline, Bad Company franchise, and the Battlefield franchise, they're very close now. I think a lot of people have said, Bad Company 3, Bad Company 3. I think there's a lot of elements of Bad Company 3 in Battlefield 3, guys. I think they took what worked from Bad Company 2. And they tried to take what worked from Bad Company 2. They tried to take what worked from Battlefield 2, obviously, and then 1942 and 2000, whatever the heck. I didn't play the game. I can't think of it off the top of my head. And they tried to take all the best elements and bring them in. Obviously, they failed on some occasions. I'm not saying they did it, but I'm sure that was the goal. And it's no secret that they wanted to, make the Battlefield franchise a little more approachable for Call of Duty players. And where was that inspiration from? That was from Bad Company. Because in their franchise, the most COD-like game was Bad Company at the time. So, my feeling is that Bad Company 3, let's say they just had made it. They never made Battlefield 3, they made Bad Company 3. Well, I think Bad Company 3 would have looked a lot similar, a lot alike to Battlefield 3 that we know. I think it would have been a very similar game. So, to say that they need to make Bad Company 3, I don't really know that they do. Because I feel like let's just say they didn't do Battlefield 4. Bad Company 3 would look very similar to what we're going to get as Battlefield 4. So I think there's not enough difference there. I think, we're going to see, it's almost merged now as one kind of template that they're going to use. And there's not enough distinct differences for the two games. Now, I think Battlefield 4, you're not going to see Armored Kill style maps, I think. You might see it in the DLC, but I think it's pretty proven at this point that DICE feels that the close quarter, the more tight, the urban, the metros, the bazaars, the aftermath style maps are the hits, are what people want. Now, I understand there's people out there that don't want that, but they're going to make a game towards who's buying it, the most people that are going to buy it. So I think we're going to continue to see a trend in that direction, and that trend in that direction heads more towards the Bad Company line. So I think it's kind of silly to sit here and pretend like, by getting Battlefield 4, we're not getting a Bad Company experience. Now listen, I understand Bad Company had its quirks, it had its own personality, it almost had its own romanticism with the player, and I like that, I enjoyed that. But particularly as far as a game, I do enjoy the Battlefield 3 and the Frostbite 2 gunplay better. I think the environment is better. Yes, I missed the destruction of Bad Company 2, but I think that can be done in Frostbite 2. I think that can be done in Battlefield 4. I'm hoping that's one of the elements that we will see. So, yes, I absolutely want elements of Bad Company 2 brought over to Battlefield 4, and I'm going to speak about that in my next video. But I think what we're getting is you're just getting a different name on the same game. You could call the next iteration, which they're calling at this point Battlefield 4. I think it would be very easy to take an erasers to that and basically maybe get a couple different voice actors, pop in a couple more, hokey, cheesy jokes, and call it Bad Company 3. I think it's pretty much, they're sitting down, they're designing the same game. It doesn't matter. It's just going to be up to the marketing and the bigwigs to decide what name it's going to have. And so I think it's really kind of not necessary to harp on what game series we're getting next, because I think, honestly, it's going to be the same game either way. So I hope that made sense, guys. I know I rambled on a little bit there. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the back. Let me know what you think, guys. Would you have rather they had Bad Company 3 or Battlefield 4? I'm in a Battlefield 4 camp because, like I said, I think we're going to get the elements either way. So I don't think there's that much of an issue there. And in my next video, I'm going to tell you what I hope they do with Battlefield 4. And we'll get a discussion open on that. So once again, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Likes, favorites, and tweets are always appreciated. And take it easy, guys. I'll talk to you soon.